Do you feel like the world has been trying to define you, shape you, and label you according to its standards? Have you been walking around carrying the weight of expectations that were never meant for you, living someone else's version of yourself, trapped in a story that isn't yours? Today, I want you to hear this with absolute clarity. God is about to show your true identity, not the identity the world has whispered to you in moments of doubt, not the identity that fear has tried to convince you belongs to you, but the real, unshakable, powerful, radiant identity that God has planted deep within your soul. This is not a small revelation. It is a seismic awakening. And it is coming. God has not forgotten you. God has not abandoned you. The world may have tried to dim your light, but the moment is coming when the truth of who you are will rise and the very foundations of your life will tremble under the weight of God's revelation. You see, far too many people live their lives as shadows of themselves. They conform, they hide, they shrink because they think the world's version of success or worth is the measure of their identity. But listen closely. Identity is not granted by education, by wealth, by approval, or by the applause of men. Identity is breathed into you by the Creator Himself. Every skill, every passion, every unique fire that burns within you is a divine fingerprint. And God is saying to you today, stop living in imitation. Stop pretending. Stop hiding in the shadows of fear and doubt. I am about to show you who you are. I want you to hear the urgency in this. There is a season approaching where God will begin to peel away every mask you've been forced to wear. Every lie that you have believed about yourself will be exposed. The insecurities that have held you in chains will be shattered. The shame, the regret, the feelings of inadequacy, they have no place in the reality God has designed for you. And I know this because God does not create confusion. God does not design failure. God does not plant weakness in the hearts of those He calls for greatness. Your identity, your true self, has been waiting for the moment when God's light pierces the darkness and reveals what has always been there. But here's the crucial thing you must understand. God will not force this revelation. He will not ignore the moments of preparation. You must be ready. You must open your heart. You must stand in faith. Even when everything around you seems uncertain, even when the voices of doubt are loudest, even when the world is telling you that you are too small, too weak, or too late. Because God is about to show your true identity, and He does so in His perfect timing, not your timing, not the timing of those who judge you, but His timing. And when it comes, it will not merely be a whisper, it will not be a subtle nudge, it will be a roaring declaration, a confirmation so undeniable that the fear, the worry, the lies, they will all fall silent before it. I know some of you are thinking, but I have failed too many times. I have stumbled. I have made mistakes that I cannot erase. How could God show me a true identity when my record is so full of brokenness? Listen carefully, because this is the truth that will shake your soul. God does not define your identity by your failures. God defines your identity by your essence, by the life He has breathed into you, by the plan He has laid out for you since before time began. Your mistakes, your sins, your moments of weakness, they are not who you are. They are merely shadows that will flee when God's light touches you. The moment God begins to reveal your true identity, you will see yourself not as a collection of failures, but as a masterpiece in the hands of the Almighty, fully capable, fully loved, and fully equipped for the destiny only you can fulfill. Think about the life you've been living. How many times have you hidden your gifts out of fear? How many times have you silenced your voice because someone else's voice seemed louder, stronger, more convincing? How many dreams have you buried because you thought you weren't ready, you weren't worthy, or you weren't enough? The truth is this: God has never stopped believing in you. God has never doubted the plan. And God is not bound by the limitations that you or anyone else has placed on your life. The revelation of your true identity is coming like a flood. It will wash away every doubt, every fear, every limiting thought. And when it arrives, it will demand your response, not of hesitation, but of courage, not of timidity, but of boldness, not of hiding, but of stepping into the fullness of who God created you to be. I need you to hear this as if your life depends on it, because it does. The identity God is about to reveal to you is not ordinary. It is not mundane. It is not a reflection of the world's standards. It is extraordinary, fierce, radiant, unstoppable. It is the version of you that was never meant to be diminished by criticism, never meant to be silenced by judgment, never meant to be hidden in fear. This is the you that God sees when He looks at you, not broken, not incomplete, not lacking, but fully whole, fully capable, fully loved, fully alive. And this identity will change everything. The relationships you keep, the choices you make, the opportunities you seize, they will all align with the truth of who God has made you to be. You might ask, how will I know when God is revealing my true identity? Let me tell you, there will be signs. You will begin to feel a fire within you that cannot be ignored. You will see doors opening where walls once stood. You will experience a clarity of a purpose that cuts through confusion and fear. And most importantly, you will encounter a peace that surpasses understanding. Because when you align with the identity God has for you, the world chaos no longer controls you. The opinions of men no longer define you. The doubts that haunted your nights no longer hold the sway. You will stand in the power of God's truth. Unshakable, unmovable, undeniable. That is the power of God, revealing your true identity. And here's the most powerful truth. This revelation is not just for your sake. The identity God is about to show you has a purpose that stretches beyond yourself. It is not for hiding, not for shrinking, not for playing small. It is meant to impact the lives of those around you. The courage, the wisdom, the strength, the love, the power that God places in you will radiate outward. People will see it. They will be drawn to it. They will be transformed by it. When God reveals your true identity, it is not merely a personal victory. It is a declaration to the world that God is alive, that God is moving, that God has a plan that cannot be thwarted by fear, by opposition, or by failure. I want you to stand in this truth today. God is not playing small with you. God is not holding back. God is not waiting for you to reach perfection, because perfection is not the point. The point is authenticity. The point is alignment with the divine purpose written in your soul. The point is stepping into the reality of who you truly are without apology, without compromise, without fear. And when you embrace this, the world will shift beneath your feet, because the power of God's revelation cannot be ignored, cannot be suppressed, and cannot be denied. I see some of you thinking, but what if I fail again? What if I stumble on this path? Let me declare to you now, in the authority of God's truth, failure does not define you. Fear does not define you. The doubts that creep into your mind at night do not define you. Your identity is not in the hands of circumstances. It is in the hands of God. And God's hands are steady, unfailing, unshakable. God will lift you when you fall, guide you when you are lost, protect you when the storms rage around you. God will not just reveal your true identity. God will equip you to live it boldly, courageously, and victoriously. Now, I want you to hear this. The revelation of your true identity is not a passive event. It is not something that simply happens while you sit and wait. God is calling you into readiness. God is calling you into alignment. There is a preparation that is taking place within you, whether you realize it or not. Every trial you have endured, every night of uncertainty, every season of waiting, these were not setbacks. They were not punishments. They were the refining fires of God, molding you, strengthening you, and preparing you for the unveiling of the greatness within you. When God shows your true identity, it will be impossible for you to return to the old life of fear, doubt, and mediocrity. You will rise as someone completely transformed, someone who walks in the authority, wisdom, and purpose of God. Listen carefully. The world will try to oppose this revelation. The enemy of your destiny will stir up voices of fear, whispers of limitation, and shadows of inadequacy. But remember this, God's revelation cannot be thwarted. The power of the Creator is greater than any force that seeks to silence you. Those who have tried to define you by their own understanding, who have belittled your gifts, who have laughed at your dreams, they will not understand the awakening that is coming. They will see it in your life, and they will be forced to acknowledge the divine hand that has been shaping you all along. God is about to show your true identity, and it will be undeniable, unstoppable, and irrevocable. I need you to look deep into your own heart right now. How many times have you allowed fear to dictate to your decisions? How many times have you hidden your talents, convinced that the world was not ready for your light? How many times have you compared yourself to others and concluded that you were less than what God intended? Hear me now. Comparison is a lie. Fear is a lie. Limitation is a lie. God has written your identity uniquely for you. There is no other person in history who carries your combination of gifts, your experiences, your vision, and your purpose. When God reveals your identity, you will understand this with crystal clarity. You are not meant to imitate. You are not meant to follow. You are meant to lead, to shine, to break barriers, to fulfill the destiny that God has ordained for you. And here is a truth that will shake you to your core. The revelation of your identity will not only transform you, it will transform your environment. The people around you will feel the shift. The places you inhabit will change. Opportunities will begin to appear that you could never have imagined. Your voice will carry weight. Your decisions will carry wisdom. Your actions will carry impact. When God reveals your true identity, the world around you will respond, because the power of God is always dynamic, always living, always moving. You will step into a reality where your life is no longer a response to the world. It is a declaration of God's purpose in motion. Some of you may be thinking, but how will I recognize this identity? How will I know this is truly God revealing me? Let me tell you, it will not feel like a suggestion. It will not feel uncertain. It will feel undeniable, compelling, and liberating. There will be a fire in your spirit, a clarity in your mind, a peace in your heart that surpasses everything you have known. You will no longer question whether you are enough, because God will show you that you are more than enough. You will no longer question whether you are equipped, because God will reveal that you are fully equipped. You will no longer question your path, because God will illuminate it with such brilliance that every step will feel guided, intentional, and empowered. That is the nature of God's revelation. It brings certainty where there was doubt, courage where there was a fear, and freedom where there was a bondage. I want you to understand something crucial. This revelation is not about perfection. It is about authenticity. God does not reveal your identity so that you can conform to someone else's expectations. God reveals your identity so that you can stand boldly in the truth of who you are. There is power in authenticity. There is a power in embracing your divine uniqueness. There is a power in declaring, this is who God made me to be, and refusing to hide, shrink, or compromise. When you step into your true identity, you step into freedom, you step into clarity, you step into destiny. The chains of doubt and fear fall away because you are no longer defined by what you lack, what you fear, or what others think. You are defined by the power of God, and that is unshakable. Now, I need you to hear this like a trumpet blast. God's revelation of your true identity will require action. It will require courage. It will require stepping into the unknown with unwavering faith. You cannot receive the fullness of this identity while hiding in comfort zones or clinging to the familiar. God's revelation comes to those who are willing to move, to risk, to rise, and to say, I will follow your path even when I cannot see the end. Every moment of obedience, every act of faith, every sacrifice of comfort is a step closer to the unveiling of the powerful, unstoppable, radiant you that God has been preparing all along. This is not a moment to shrink back. This is a moment to rise. And understand this, God does not reveal identity in isolation. Often it comes through trials, through seasons of testing, through moments that feel like you are being pushed to your limits. But these are not punishments. These are divine instruments. God is refining your character, strengthening your faith, and sharpening your clarity so that when your identity is revealed, it is resilient, unshakable, and fully aligned with the purpose for which you were created. The storms you have weathered, the battles you have fought, the nights of doubt and loneliness, they are all shaping you, molding you, preparing you for the revelation that will change your life forever. The key truth I want to leave you with now is this. The identity God is about to show you is not merely for you. It is meant to be expressed, to be lived, to influence, to impact, to shine as a testimony of God's wisdom, power, and love. You are not created to hide. You are not created to remain in the shadows. You are created to rise, to lead, to inspire, to demonstrate the limitless power of God's plan in motion. When God reveals your identity, You will understand that your life is bigger than fear, bigger than doubt, bigger than failure. You will understand that your existence itself is a declaration of God's glory, power, and purpose. I want you to understand this. Your true identity is not a secret that God is withholding from you out of indifference. No, the truth is far greater. God has been carefully, purposefully, and lovingly preparing the revelation of who you are so that when it emerges, it will align perfectly with your destiny. Every delay, every moment of waiting, every season that felt like a stagnation was divine orchestration, positioning you, strengthening you, and shaping you for the fullness of your potential. The moment is approaching when you will look at your life and realize that God was never absent. God was working behind the scenes, building, refining, equipping, and orchestrating everything to bring you into the clarity of your true self. You see, the world tried to define identity by external measures, titles, possessions, appearances, social status. But God's revelation goes far beyond the superficial. True identity is found in alignment with God's purpose, in the expression of the gifts, the wisdom, and the courage that have been planted within you since the beginning. When God reveals your identity, you will understand that who you are is not determined by what you have, but by who God created you to be. You will see yourself as a divine masterpiece, intentionally formed, infinitely valuable, and destined for impact. This is the identity that cannot be shaken by failure, fear, or the opinions of men. And let me tell you something with absolute clarity. God is not just revealing identity for comfort. No, this revelation carries power. This revelation carries authority. This revelation carries the ability to change your life and the lives of those around you. You will discover that your words, your actions, and your presence carry weight because they are rooted in the truth of God's purpose. People may try to resist your rise. They may attempt to discourage you. They may even mock the potential they cannot understand, but God's revelation cannot be silenced. Your identity will radiate like a light that cannot be dimmed, and the world will have no choice but to recognize the power that God has placed within you. I need you to grasp this. God is about to strip away every illusion that has kept you from fully knowing yourself. Every lie the enemy has whispered to you about who you are, every moment of self-doubt, every time you convinced yourself that you are less than, all of it is about to be undone. God will show you that your value is infinite, your strength is undeniable, and your purpose is irreplaceable. You will no longer chase approval, validation, or recognition from anyone other than God. Your identity will no longer be subject to the fluctuating opinions of men because God will reveal the unshakable truth. You are fearfully and wonderfully made with gifts and abilities that no one else can replicate. The revelation of your identity will also awaken a boldness in you that you have never experienced before. You will find courage where there was fear, clarity where there was confusion, and conviction where there was uncertainty. You will no longer settle for mediocrity, compromise, or limitation, because God's revelation will demand excellence, integrity, and obedience to the purpose for which you were created. You will rise to heights you never imagined, walk paths you never dared to tread, and accomplish tasks that once seemed impossible. God's revelation does not simply confirm who you are. It propels you to live fully, to lead courageously, and to act decisively in accordance with divine purpose. And let me speak directly to those who have been broken, abandoned, or overlooked. The very experiences that caused pain, shame, and isolation are the instruments God has used to shape the strength and character necessary for your true identity to emerge. Every trial has been a teacher. Every heartbreak a preparation. Every moment of silence a signal that God was moving behind the scenes. When your identity is revealed, you will no longer see those experiences as burdens. They will be badges of honor, evidence of God's hand guiding you through the fire to bring you into a reality far greater than you could have imagined. I want you to hear this with unwavering conviction. There is no force, no circumstance, no person, and no limitation that can prevent the revelation of your true identity. Not the criticisms of others, not the mistakes of your past, not the storms of your present. None of these can block what God has ordained. Your identity is anchored in God, and God's purpose cannot fail. When God reveals it, it will be unmistakable, undeniable, and unstoppable. You will feel a shift in your very being, a recognition deep within that says, this is who I was always meant to be. This is the life I was always meant to live. And here is a vital principle. Revelation requires faith and action. It is not enough to passively hope for the unveiling of your true self. You must rise in faith, take steps toward the unknown, and trust God with every part of your journey. God's revelation will often come through moments that challenge you, force you out of comfort, and push you toward courage. But this is the path to greatness, the path to purpose, the path to the full expression of who you are. Do not shrink back. Do not hesitate. Do not allow fear to dictate your steps. God is calling you forward into a destiny that cannot be denied. And understand this, the true power of identity revealed by God is transformative not only for you, but for everyone around you. Your authenticity, your courage, your strength, your love, and your wisdom will illuminate the path for others who are lost, inspire those who are doubting, and encourage those who are weary. When God reveals your identity, it is a divine signal that your life matters, your purpose matters, and your existence has eternal significance. You will no longer be hidden in the shadows, waiting for approval. You will stand boldly, fully aligned with the intention of God, fully equipped to impact the world in ways you have never imagined. The next season of your life is approaching, a season where God's revelation of your identity will be unmistakable. You will no longer wonder if you are capable, worthy, or ready. You will see yourself as God sees you, powerful, equipped, prepared, and unstoppable. You will understand that your value, your purpose, and your destiny were never dependent on the world. They have always been rooted in God's plan. And in that moment of clarity, you will know that every struggle, every trial, every season of waiting was part of the divine preparation for the powerful unveiling of who you truly are. I want you to hear this with absolute clarity. God's revelation of your true identity is not a reward, it is a destiny. It is the culmination of everything God has placed inside you since the moment of your creation. The talents, the wisdom, the courage, the resilience, the vision, all of it has been stored within you for this very season. The experiences that shaped you, The trials that tested you, the nights that felt endless, they were all carefully orchestrated to prepare you for the unveiling of who you truly are. And when God chooses to reveal this identity, it will feel like awakening from a long slumber. Suddenly, everything that was hidden, everything that was unclear, everything that was buried in fear and doubt will be illuminated with divine clarity. You will see yourself as God intended, whole, capable, powerful, and fully alive. Let me speak directly to those who have been overlooked, dismissed, or underestimated. God's revelation is not for the world to approve. It is for the world to witness. Every time someone told you that you were too weak, too small, too insignificant, God was writing a story that they could not understand. When your identity is revealed, you will no longer live for approval. You will no longer shrink to fit the limitations of others. You will rise in the authority and the strength that God has instilled in you, and your life will become a testimony of divine truth. People will notice, not because you seek recognition, but because the light of God within you is undeniable. The world will see it. Those who doubted you will see it. And more importantly, you will see it within yourself, and nothing can take it away. I need you to grasp this deeply. Revelation of your true identity is about power, but it is also about responsibility. God is revealing you not for comfort, not for selfish gain, not for idle satisfaction. God is revealing you so that you can walk in purpose, influence lives, and fulfill the calling written in your very being. This is why you cannot afford to be passive. This is why you must act, move, and respond. Every step you take in faith, every decision you make in alignment with God's truth, every act of courage you take in the face of fear, it brings you closer to the full unveiling of your identity. The time for hesitation is over. The moment for boldness is now. God is calling you to rise to the measure of who you truly are. Consider the journey you have traveled. How many times have you felt unworthy? How many times have you doubted your potential? How many nights have you spent questioning whether you were enough? Hear me now. God's revelation will erase all of that doubt. The very essence of who you are, the gifts, the wisdom, the courage, the uniqueness that God breathed into you will come alive. You will no longer question your worth. You will no longer be silenced by fear. You will no longer shrink to fit the expectations of others. You will walk in a confidence, a clarity, and a boldness that only comes from the direct revelation of God's truth. This is your awakening. This is your rise. This is your moment. And let me warn you, the process of revelation may not be easy. There will be resistance. There will be trials. There will be moments when the old fears, old doubts, and old voices of discouragement attempt to pull you back into the shadows. But understand this, the greater the resistance, the more significant the revelation. God does not allow storms in your life without purpose. God does not allow opposition without intention. Every challenge, every struggle, every test is designed to sharpen you, strengthen you, and prepare you to embrace your true identity fully and fearlessly. When the storm is raging, do not panic. Do not retreat. Stand firm, because the revelation that is coming will be worth every trial, every tear, every struggle. You must also understand that revelation brings alignment. When God reveals your identity, It is not just about self-recognition. It is about synchronizing every aspect of your life with divine purpose. Your relationships, your work, your vision, your decisions, they will all begin to align with the truth of who you are. Doors that once seemed closed will open. Opportunities that once seemed unreachable will present themselves. Your path will become clear and you will move with divine precision, no longer lost in confusion, no longer trapped in doubt. God's revelation is not passive, it is transformative. It changes everything it touches. And here is the most liberating truth. God's revelation is unstoppable. No circumstance, no limitation, no opinion, no failure can override what God has prepared for you. Even if the world has tried to define you, even if the past has tried to label you, even if fear has tried to silence you, God's truth cannot be denied. Your identity is written in the hands of the Almighty, and when God chooses to reveal it, it will burst forth with undeniable power, clarity, and purpose. You will finally see yourself not through the lens of the world, but through the eyes of God, the one who knows your potential, your purpose, and your power from the very beginning. Some of you may be asking, how do I embrace this revelation? How do I step into this identity when it comes? I tell you now, faith is the key. Faith is the bridge between who you have been and who God created you to be. Faith is the courage to move forward even when the path is uncertain. Faith is the decision to trust that every step, every moment, every experience has been leading you to this very point. When God reveals your identity, you must respond with boldness, clarity, and unwavering commitment. You must declare, this is who God made me to be, and I will not shrink. I will not compromise. I will not hide. That is the essence of walking in the fullness of divine identity. I also want you to understand that revelation is contagious. When God reveals your true self, it does not remain contained within you. The power, the courage, the authenticity that radiates from your identity will touch others. It will inspire those who are lost, encourage those who are doubting, and awaken those who have been living in fear. Your rise becomes a declaration of God's power, wisdom, and glory in motion. The influence of a revealed identity cannot be contained. It ripples outward, transforming lives, communities, and generations. And I declare this with all the authority of God's truth. The season of hiddenness is ending. The season of doubt, delay, and hesitation is over. God is about to unveil your true identity. And when it happens, it will be undeniable. It will be transformational. It will be unstoppable. Every fear will be silenced. Every doubt will be shattered. Every limitation will be broken. You will rise in alignment with God's purpose, walking fully in the identity that has been yours since the moment of your creation.